Hi guys, this is Fernando. In this video tutorial, I will show you how to combine the HDRI and the VRay sound to produce a really nice illumination. I want to show you what kind of illumination we are looking for. So basically, I have this scene that was made by Ronan Beckerman. I use an HDRI and the sound system to produce this kind of illumination. You can see the shadows from the sun and also the really nice contrast produced by the HDRI. I have this scene here. All my settings are pretty much by default. The only difference is that I'm using in the image sample adaptive subdivision. The reason is because I'm overriding all the material here, so I don't need the adaptive DMC because I don't have any reflections or refractions. I don't have too much blurry material, so I could use adaptive DMC because in this case this is a faster anti-aliasing method. So I'm gonna use for now adaptive subdivision, but for my final production render I will change adaptive to adaptive DMC. Okay, the idea is to use an HDRI, so I'm gonna replace the sun in my GI color with an HDRI image or a sky HDRI image. So I'm going to select environment. I'm going to use a spherical mapping, and also I'm going to have a sky HDRI. So this is the sky, the HDRI that I'm going to use. I have two versions, one blurry for my BG color and one sharp for my BG color. So the blurry one is for the GI color and the sharp one is for my BG color. So I'm going to do the same thing in the BG color. Click environment. Okay, select the HDRI. Okay, click OK. Because I'm using an HDRI to illuminate my scene, I don't want to use the physical camera. I don't want that the physical camera control my exposure, but I still want to use the physical camera maybe to control the white balance or the vignetting effects. So I'm going to disable the exposure control. By doing that, I will not use a physical camera to control the exposure. So those options here, the shutter speed and the f number and the film speed, do not affect the exposure anymore. Okay. I want to create my first render with the HDRI, so let me be sure that I have the HDRI in both sides. So it's okay. So let me create my first render. Okay, this is a render. As you notice, I have the sun in the center of my background, and this is what I don't want. So I have to rotate the sun and keep your eyes on the shadows. I don't get any sharp shadows. I'm still getting some blurry shadow, but I don't have any sharp shadows there. And the idea is to use the sun to get some sharp shadows. Okay, another very important thing is that the BG color, that the intensity of the BG color, of the background color, is kind of good, maybe a little bit brighter, but the intensity of my illumination should be a lot brighter. So I'm going to increase the illumination to 6 and the background to 2. And I'm going to rotate the HDRI maybe 110. When I move the HDRI, I'm moving the HDRI in counterclockwise, so 100 is going to give me the sun in any point in this direction, so from here to there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the BG color, with the background. One very useful tips that I use is to add a sphere in my, you can see the sphere here. So I usually add a sphere to see where are my reflections, my HDRI reflections. So in this way, I'm gonna add some ball or sphere, and I apply a middle material to that sphere to identify the sun or my reflection to get some point of reference. I'm gonna click render again and pause the video a little bit. This is my render. You can see the illumination is pretty nice. My background is pretty nice. The illumination also is good. So I have a lot of brightness right now. But my problem is that I don't have any sharp shadows. The idea is to identify the direction of the shadows. You can see the sun here in this area, and my shadows is gonna be somewhere in this other area. I need to control the position of the sun in order to produce shadows in the same area of my HDRI. So if I enable the sun system, you are going to see where is your sun shadows, and actually it's in the opposite, completely in the opposite side of what I needed, because I need the sun in this area, basically because the sphere told me that the sun is hitting my surface in this area, so it's going to produce shadows in the other area. So let me move the shadows just a little bit, the month. And also I want to move the date or the hour to get some nice result. And also you have to try to mimic the horizontal position of your sun. So you can see now the shadows seem to be good in the right position. But how I control or how I add the sun in my scene. The shadows is good right now. So if you go to the options in this new build, in the 1.40a, if you go to the global switches, you could enable the default light. Basically, the default light in SketchUp is the VRay sun. So if you enable this option here, you are going to have the VRay sun system in your render. The problem is how you control the intensity of the sun, because I'm not using the physical camera. I disabled the exposure, so I'm not using the physical camera. If I let the sun with the multiplier of 1, I'm gonna have a really bright scene. So the idea is to control the sun anywhere in the environment. But I have a problem here. I have the HDRI in my background to get some reflection, so I could not use the GI color. The GI color produced me my illumination, and I have the HDRI there. The only two options that I have is the reflection and the refractions. I'm going to enable the reflection just to control the parameter of the sun. But in order to throw my render, I'm going to disable the reflection because I don't want to override the GI color. But I need somewhere, or I need room to control my sun. In this way, if I enable the sun, now I have the parameter of the sun, so I could control the intensity, for example. So let me reduce the intensity because I know that my sun is really bright. I used to, when I don't have the physical camera, 0.03 is a good sun multiplier to get a similar illumination that you have with your default sun and with your default physical camera. So 0.03 is a good point to start. Also, I know that my sun is very low to the horizon, so it's going to produce, should produce blurry shadows. So I'm going to increase the size of the sun to produce blurry shadow to 10. If you have a lot of noise, you could increase the subdivision to control the noise of the shadows. But for me, it's okay like that. Remember, I don't want to override my reflection, so now I have to disable the reflection color. But I will not lose the sun parameter that I already set up. Okay, VRay is going to stick with those parameters. Now I have my sun and my HDRI enabled. Let me create a render to see what we have. here we go. This is the render. So let's the render finish, but you can notice right now that I still having the same illumination with the HDRI, a little bit brighter because I have my sun, but now I have the sharp shadows that I need to make a very powerful illumination. So now I have the really nice contrast produced by the HDRI, my reflection in my glass, and also I have the sharp shadow that I need, but in this case I use the sun to produce that shadows. Remember, control the shadows, the sun position through the shadows options. Also enable the default light to enable your sun, and use the reflection or the refraction color to control the sun parameter, but right before the render disable this parameter to avoid overriding your VRay color, and apply the HDRI on the GI color to produce illumination, and on the VRay color to get some reflections. So this is the render. I think it's look pretty good, pretty nice exterior illumination with an HDRI and the sun system. So guys, this is all that I have for you today. Have a nice day, and we are in December, so Merry Christmas to everybody. Bye.